My name is Tom. I'm a 35-year-old ordinary office worker, but there's one thing I can proudly tell people about. It's about my wife, Kelsey, whom I've been married to for 7 years. She's always cheerful, and her constant smile gives me energy. Every morning, she wakes up early to prepare a homemade lunch for me. Thank you always. You always take care of dinner and breakfast preparations. It's the least I can do, she said. She added, handing me a package with my lunch and another smaller one for the cupcakes. What's this? Cupcakes? Have you forgotten what day it is? It's the anniversary of our special start, she reminded me. Oh, right, I chuckled, reminded by Kelsey. Today is our wedding anniversary. I don't usually bake, but I got carried away today. Dinner will be a treat. I'll prepare plenty. Thank you. With the beautifully wrapped cupcakes in hand, I left home with a smile. This made me feel ready for the day. But my simple joy was about to be ruined. Oh, what's that? That pool-looking bag of sweets. During my break at work, as I was about to put my lunch and the homemade cake into the fridge in the break room, someone called out to me. It was Linda, my direct supervisor. For some reason, she always finds ways to be mean to me. Arms crossed, she looked down at me with a sly grin. Not again. How unpleasant. I didn't want to deal with her, but I couldn't ignore her. Linda, do you have something to say? No, not really. Just wondering why, with our company's decent salary, you're so fixated on saving. With your usual poor man's lunch and now this cheap-looking bag of sweets. Linda chuckled. It must be tough having a wife who's into saving, especially when her husband could be fired any day. Haha. I don't think that's an appropriate way to speak, I said, feeling my temper rise. This was especially true since she was insulting Kelsey, prompting me to respond more strongly than I intended. Oh, I'm just stating the truth. She smirked nastily, looking down at me. Realizing this conversation was pointless, I put the cake in the fridge and decided to leave. Wait, you're just going to leave without saying anything to your supervisor? Excuse me, I said coldly. Then, I walked past her without another word. So disrespectful, you'll see. I heard Linda mutter something but pretended not to hear. Sighing as I walked down the office corridor. Why'd Linda target me like this? She became my boss 8 years ago. Before that, we were colleagues who started in the same year. We got along well and even went out for drinks together. I thought our relationship wouldn't change even after she became my boss, but I was wrong. Her attitude changed abruptly the year after I got married. Enduring daily complaints and sarcasm became the norm. I was given only menial tasks and no longer trusted with important work. I've been through a lot at the company and thought about quitting many times. I've been working hard, knowing Kelsey is waiting for me at home. What is this cake? It's awful. Startled by Linda's loud voice, I looked up from my work at my desk. She was holding a cupcake with a puzzled look on her face. Seeing the package on my desk, I immediately recognized it as the cake Kelsey had made for me. Hey, what are you doing? Even though she is my boss, it's outrageous that she touched my personal belongings. I couldn't help but raise my voice at such unreasonable behavior. But she just looked at me and smiled smugly. How can you eat something so tasteless? Is your wife's sense of taste off? Saying that, she threw the cupcake into the trash can next to the desk. I hurriedly peered into the trash can. The cake Kelsey had made was smashed, a pitiful sight. That's just too much. I shuddered with emotion. Humph, such a fuss over a mere pastry, Linda scoffed. Her angry voice drew the attention of other employees. But as soon as Linda glared around, they quickly averted their eyes. Everyone is afraid of her. With unsteady steps, I moved away from the trash can and weakly returned to my desk. Is it really acceptable to discard my precious belongings into the trash? Such a violation, even if I'm not good at my job. Lost in shock, Linda showered me with more words. Today is your wedding anniversary, right? I read the message card from your wife. As a celebration, I'll give you overtime. I wonder if your wife will wait up late for you. She laughed annoyingly. Unable to think, I just sat at my desk, drained. The overtime work stretched into the late night, the clock hand well past midnight, and I continued working alone in the empty office. I couldn't even celebrate our wedding anniversary with Kelsey. I missed the last train and had to take a taxi home, but the lights at the house were off. She couldn't have waited that long. Unlike me, Kelsey balances housework and her job, living a busy life every day. There's no way she would wait up this late for me. I was so focused on organizing documents that I completely forgot to call her and tell her I would be late. Passing through the dark entrance, I headed to the living room. Suddenly, the living room lit up, and the sound of party crackers filled the room. Happy anniversary, darling. There was Kelsey, holding crackers, smiling at me. Tired from overtime, but I wanted to celebrate our anniversary together, so I stayed up late. The food might have gone bad, so I put it in the fridge, but I'll prepare it now. She cheerfully addressed me, still in shock. Yeah. Seeing Kelsey's warm smile, the tears I had been holding back overflowed. What's wrong? Seeing me suddenly cry, Kelsey rushed over. Sorry, something bad happened at work. What happened? Tell me. But I don't want to upset you. What are you talking about? We're a couple, aren't we? What kind of partner would I be if I don't listen when you're struggling? Kelsey. I lifted my somber face and slowly started to tell her about what happened at work. Hearing my story, Kelsey's face turned angry. That's just harassment, not work. You should quit a company that has a boss like that, Kelsey exclaimed. As much as the harassment is terrible, quitting isn't really an option. What if you get sick because of that supervisor? I don't want you to become ill. No, I don't think it will get that bad. Don't underestimate the impact on your mental health. We're going to the Labor Standards Inspection Office tomorrow, but they can't do anything without evidence, right? That's true. We need evidence. Kelsey's eyes gleamed ominously, and I shuddered. Just wait, I have something good, she said. Then she went to the next room and returned with something in her hand. I had a really bad feeling about this. This might be a bad idea. Why? It's just recording the sounds around you. She handed me a small voice recorder. The plan was to record the terrible things Linda said to me and take it to the Labor Standards Office. We can even claim damages for the mental anguish she's caused, Kelsey said. Her face lit up with a mischievous smile. No, recording my interactions with Linda is a bet. Are you okay with letting that awful boss get away with it? No, let's get revenge. Okay, I'll try recording. Pressured by Kelsey's intensity, I ultimately accepted the voice recorder. If I didn't act, Kelsey might take drastic action herself. I had to prevent that at all costs. She can be quite proactive and fearsome at times. A few days later, Linda and I were summoned by the HR manager, Michael. Linda, what's this about? Michael played the voice recorder I had submitted to the Labor Standards Office. This is... Linda's face turned pale as she listened to her voice from the recorder. Really? Everyone would work better if a useless person like you weren't here. Your wife makes such poor-looking lunches. Listening to the playback made me feel sick. I had to cover my mouth. Are you okay, Linda? What's all this? Well, I was just guiding him. Is berating his wife's cooking part of your guidance? There's a reason for that. It's unreasonable to expect women to always make lunches. We're in an era of gender equality, but you're criticizing a lunch made by a woman. Yes, I'm sorry. Apologize to him, not me. As soon as Michael said that, Linda clenched her mouth and glared at me. It's his fault. I've been giving him signals for so long. He must have had feelings for me too. But then he marries another woman. What? Both Michael and I were speechless at Linda's words. Was she harassing me all this time because of unrequited feelings? Do you realize how you're being perceived right now? What do you mean? Look at this. The moment Linda saw the cell phone screen that Michael showed her, her face changed color as she exclaimed, "What? What's this?" There was Kelsey's social media. Without naming Linda, Kelsey had been exposing the treatment I received on social media. But Linda's surprise wasn't just about that. This person is the retired actress Jennifer, isn't she? In fact, Kelsey used to be a well-known popular actress. However, she retired when we got married. Now, she had turned into a famous influencer, using her past fame to earn millions every month. The house we lived in was bought outright with her savings, and she even paid for the entire wedding. However, she retired when we got married. We weren't struggling financially, so I didn't need to work, but I wanted to earn enough for my own expenses. Is everything written here about me? Lindy asked Michael, her face pale. Michael let out a deep sigh and nodded, saying, "Yes, that's right. If things continue this way, your personal information might get leaked. If the company gets identified, it'll cause a commotion. We want to handle this before it escalates, okay? So, you're saying I should resign. That might be best for you. Also, if you have any social media or blogs, you should shut them down immediately. Jennifer's fans might start harassing you if they identify you." Wait, you mean Jennifer's husband is? Yes, that's me. Is there a problem? No way, Linda exclaimed, as if she couldn't believe such an improbable turn of events. I used to be just a fan of hers. Never thought I'd end up in this relationship. We kept their relationship quiet within the company, Michael added. I'm truly sorry. Please ask your wife to delete the social media posts. I have my own life to live. Please. Linda, trembling, begged me. I understand, I told her. I never thought the harassment that tormented me for 7 years could be resolved so easily. That day, Linda offered to resign and wrote a pledge to never involve herself with us again. It seems she's now living quietly back at her parents' house. As for me, life had returned to normal. I'm still working at the same company. Overtime is still frequent, but now other employees, who couldn't speak up before, are eager to help. I have a new supervisor and am gradually being entrusted with more important tasks. And there's been another change. Hey, after this incident, my fans really want to meet you. Would you join me at a fan gathering? No, I'd rather not. Why not? They all want to meet you. Kelsey was insistent on introducing me to her fans. Apparently, she's also into video streaming and wants to feature me, her husband, as a guest. I just don't like the idea, that's all. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. She hugged me as she said this. Hey, once again, she had saved me. With that thought, I smiled at my loving wife.